As the full moon reaches its peak, Everett, Blake, Luna, and Harlan are drawn together by an unknown force. Kristen locks into the group as suspects as Garrett tries to survive the wildfire. Hello, entertainment enthusiasts. This is Ray, and this is the Fandom Realm, and today I am reacting and reviewing episode number 2 of Wolfpack. As always, spoilers are abound, so just be aware. Also, please enjoy all the clips from the show. Now let's see Wolfpack episode 2. Now, as we go into this episode, I do just want to remind everybody where we were at last time. The wolf had howled, and that brought Everett, Blake, Luna, and Harlan all together on, it looks like a hill by the forest, where the forest fire is. For some reason, Blake is going to take off, and with that, the rest of the group follows her. Eventually, she's going to run flat into the firefighters fighting the fire, and of course, they're going to have to answer a lot of questions. Eventually, the group heads home. Everett, Blake, Luna, and Harlan are all in the vehicle together, and Harlan is very suspicious of them. He doesn't trust them, and Luna is opposite of him, though. She is very trusting of them. They're wolves. She saw their eyes change, and she's wanting to tell them, but Harlan is not. Everett wants to show them that he was bitten, and he thinks that might help. And of course, Blake was bitten too, but when he actually goes to show the bite mark, it's no longer there. The bite has healed, and that sort of makes Harlan even a little more suspicious, and he doesn't really want to talk. Now, eventually, everyone's going to get home, and Everett is talking to Blake. He actually is going to tell her that she can use his method for calming down in yoga with her little brother. Now, here's a sad part for me, because Everett is sneaking into his house. There's going to be consequences, and his mom smacks him. And, I mean, she is not a nice woman. And with that, I hope she is one of the first ones to get eaten. Now, Blake is at the hotel, and she is checking her wound that is healed. She's going to be hallucinating as well, that she has werewolf teeth. Lots of hallucinations in this show so far. I'm not sure I'm a big fan of those, but we're going to see where that carries us. She also is going to get a phone call warning her to be careful, and that's gonna scare her. Now, coming back home with Harlan and Luna, the deputy, or whatever she is, I'm not exactly sure, brings them back. She's not very happy with them being out there, and they do talk about where their dad could be. She points out his last position, the position she thinks he is on a map. Harlan and Luna are going to discuss Everett and Blake, and of course, he doesn't want anything to do with them. He's pretty consistent on that, and he feels like he feels like doing anything with them right now is revealing a secret they have kept for 18 years, and it could hurt them. Now, of course, we do get to see Everett going to bed. There's a whole bed series here for him. He's having some issues. We already know he has some emotional problems, probably more like anxiety problems than anything else. Basically, what's going on here is after they get home, they actually end up sleeping through a day. And so here we've got Everett and Blake, and again, they're sleeping through the day. Everett's going to get to the point where he's going to be hallucinating again, maybe dreaming that he was in bed with Blake, and they're going to look at each other, but they're both in their own places. Blake is going to be a little freaked out. Her little brother has seen that she put the dresser up against the hotel door, so he's a little freaked out. And he probably should be, to be quite honest. He's in a situation there where he's autistic. He's going to be freaked out by that. We also get to see Garrett trying to survive in the woods. Now, we get to a situation here. Everett is waking up. He's hearing voices, and he's actually going to crawl out from under his bed. He finally, I guess, felt safe under the bed, and as he comes out, he's going to look at his hands here and look at those claw marks. That's not good. Mom's at the door, can't stand her, and she basically says the investigator people are there, and he has to go downstairs. Now, here's just Blake's dad coming in. He's forgotten to pay the insurance, so their house is a complete loss, and that's going to be devastating for them. Now, at Everett's, he's going to come in, and Kristen is there. Our dear Sarah Michelle Gellar. Again, we don't get to see enough of her. She's very direct with these kids and very suspicious of them for some reason. I sort of wonder why. And his parents aren't that nice either. This assistant she has, he's a complete and total jerk. I wouldn't talk to him even if I had to. I would rather talk to Sarah Michelle Gellar. And she basically is telling him no, that she doesn't think they are the arsonists. So Harlan and Luna continue to discuss what's going on. Luna is wanting to go out and search for her dad, for Garrett, and Harlan doesn't think that's a good idea, and so he grabs the keys and he's off to the gym. We're going to get introduced to Connor, who was also on the bus, and he's one of Everett's friends. And it's revealed that he was actually bitten as well, but they thought it was a coyote or a dog. And so we're going to get to see his bite in just a second as he pulls his shirt up and makes a little joke to Everett about not wanting to experiment until he got into college. It's sort of funny, actually. But Everett is worried about what's going on, so he tells Connor, who's got to go see the doctor, to let him know how it goes. Connor's going to see Everett's hand shaking, and he's going to be worried the other way as well. Now we get to the gym, the good old gym, and poor Harlan, who's probably a gym rat, is having issues. He's hearing things. There's this guy that he's attracted to, but he's just having issues. The other guy's weightlifting as well, and Harlan's just having issues. He's running into the guy at the weight benches when he's sitting down and doing different exercise. He's fantasizing or hallucinating, I guess, about them being together, and that's going to come in a clip in a minute. Basically, we're getting to see here Garrett having some issues. He was probably not close from death when he was finally found. And we actually get revealed. This is crazy right here, because Garrett brings the wolf pups in. The one pup touches his hand, and then the next thing that happens, there's a baby's hand there. So these baby wolves transformed, and so they've been able to transform from wolves. So that's something interesting. Now, Sarah Michelle Gellar, Kristen, she's going to come over to talk to Blake and try to get some information from her. Doesn't go very far. we're back to the gym, and here's where Harlan is hallucinating with the guy in the yellow t-shirt, and that's going to be very important for us because he almost hurts himself in the gym. He's doing bench presses, and he's thinking about it again and getting his clothes off, and the guys getting aggressive. They're taking clothes off. Things are progressing, but again, it's all a hallucination. I'm not really sure why this is happening to him. We get a quick cheek peek, I think, in one of these clips right here. And so, again, it's all hallucination for Harlan. And then when he sort of comes to, he sees himself with like werewolf teeth. And he was actually struggling on the bench press, and the other guy, I don't think we ever got his name, is going to help him out. And he actually didn't end up, he actually did end up knowing Harlan's name. So Connor is at the doctor's office. His leg is not healing. He's going to get a tetanus shot for the bite, and he's going to have a reaction to it. It's going to give him this burning reaction, and with that, he's going to pass out on the floor. So something's going on with Everett. He's feeling things. He heads over to the hotel where Blake is, and of course trying to sort of figure out what's going on. Along with that, Luna is at home, and strange things are happening, and probably one of the strangest, craziest things in the world. We think the werewolf is coming through the door, but she hallucinates a horse jumping through the door. This might be one of the craziest things I've ever seen. The horse, why would she hallucinate that? That's crazy. I don't understand that. Now, finally, she actually does get a message from Harlan, and it's good news. He has told her that the firefighters have found their dad. They've found Garrett. We get that little scene. Of course, Garrett thought it was a wolf originally, which was sort of funny. Now, moving here, we actually find out that Connor has been sedated, and it should have knocked him out, but nothing happened to him. He's just sort of sitting there. Everett's bonding with Blake's little brother, who's autistic. That's an awesome scene there, just because an autistic kid bonding like that is a big deal. Connor gets the same call Everett got earlier, and it's going to freak him out. We're going to see Blake and Everett back together at the hotel. The moon is out, and Everett really gets close to giving her a kiss, but doesn't fall through. He gets a call from Connor. Connor is scared. He has run away from his parents, and he feels that something's after him. So they're going to decide, led by Everett, that Blake and Everett's going to go and try to help Connor out. So they head on to the hospital. We're going to get to see Connor, who is running away from the werewolf. We get to see eventually a form of the werewolf, especially when he heads down these steps. I think I put that in here. Yeah, he's up at the top of the steps there. And that werewolf he's one of the scary werewolves. And so that's a good thing. Luna is coming into the hospital to meet with Harlan because their dad is not there yet. The ambulance hasn't gotten there. We also see Blake and Everett arrive, and Everett's going to go look for Connor. Connor has run out the back, and that's not good because while trying to get through a fence, he gets his cast stuck. He ends up using a rock to break the cast off, but as he's trying to escape, the werewolf attacks him. And we get to see a pretty good shot of the werewolf here. which is really awesome. I'm glad we're getting to see this werewolf early in the series. Although it's all dark, so basically what's going to happen is we don't get the best look. Luna and Harlan are going to see their dad, who has been brought in. And then here comes Sarah Michelle Gellar. Well, actually, it's her assistant coming in to get the two of them to talk. Sarah Michelle Gellar is busy pestering Everett again as she finds him outside holding the cast. Of course, Everett would be standing there with Connor's cast in his hands just as she pulls up. Now, I hope everybody enjoyed the recap. I just have a few thoughts and reactions for this episode, and then we'll get on out of here. So first, I just want to talk about Wolfpack versus Teen Wolf. I think a lot of people are going to be comparing the two shows, and I think they are basically different sides of the same coin. While they both have to do with teenage werewolves, Teen Wolf was always a little more lighthearted, a little more humorous, and they've chosen to go with Wolfpack with a much more serious, much more mysterious, and even horror type show. And I'm digging that so far. I'm glad the two are very different, and I'm not looking at Wolfpack thinking, oh, this is just a copy of Teen Wolf. I think it's a good thing that they are two completely different shows. Now, along with that, I'm really liking the development of our 4 high schoolers. I think they're doing a very good job with that, and especially Everett and his potential issues with anxiety. I really like when these shows show teenagers and high school students who are having to deal with mental health issues. I think that's a good thing for everyone involved when that is something that's being represented. Talking about teenage issues, also, of course, it seems like Blake is in a broken house, divorced parents, and dad has custody, and things aren't going so well. And basically, they've lost everything because he didn't pay the house insurance, and so they're not going to be able to rebuild. And so that's going to throw a major kink into their problem. And I really feel bad for them. But again, when you're looking at this show, this is something else where it's representing a family unit where there's an issue. Now, the only thing for me here with our teenagers is we don't have quite a bit on Luna and Harlan yet. And I'm still waiting for that. Some character development. Luna she's sort of the mysterious one, and I'm going to be interested to see what they do with her. Of course, it's already been established that Harlan is either gay or bi. He's very interested in other guys, so that's going to be one of probably our underlying storylines that's going through everything. And again, a show that has a lot of good representation. We have a cast that does have some diversity, and that's a good thing. Now, one of the really big things on this series and this episode that really hit me today was realizing that those wolf pups actually turned into babies. That's huge. I haven't really seen that in much of a werewolf series before. Normally, the werewolves are able to turn, when they turn 16, somewhere like that, but they're not born as wolf pups and then become human babies. That's a first, and I'm going to give the show credit for being the first to do that, or at least the first that I've really watched something where they've done that. Of course, the other big thing here is we've already seen the werewolf in 2 episodes. The question is that the big bad werewolf and the one who bit everybody? The assumption is that it is, and that just brings up, well, what's going on with Connor, because he was bitten but doesn't seem to have progressed like Everett and Blake. And so, could there be 2 werewolves maybe? And that sort of leads us into this mystery also of who is calling these people, telling them to run and telling them that they're in danger. I'm going to tell you, I saw this on another person's post. Boy, it sure sounds like that's Peter Hell from Teen Wolf on the other end of that line. But I'm going to guess it's not, but it sure sounds like him. So, that sort of deepens the mystery. We've got this person, we've also got the fact that what's been going on all these years, okay? You have Luna and Harlan, and they've grown up. They were wolf puppies, and, you know, have they not been using any powers? Have they not been shifting or changing? Didn't they really realize what they were? That's sort of one of those things that I'm starting to wonder if they've just been living all their lives as humans and didn't really know they were different from other people. It's a possibility. We haven't found out a lot of information yet. Last thing I'm going to really hit on is Sarah Michelle Gellar as Kristen and the LA Fire Department folks. I want to see more Sarah Michelle Gellar, and she needs to be more involved. She hasn't had enough lines and enough of a presence in this series yet, and so hopefully that's going to increase. She's very suspicious. I'm just sort of wondering, could she be the bad guy actually? Could they be throwing us a curveball with her? Could it be the guy that's working with her, her evil... I'm going to call him her evil number 2. You know, could it be one of them? Could one of them have been there years before when the other fire happened, and could they know something? Because she seems awful suspicious about things. So we've got to see where that's going to go as well. And hopefully we get to see more of Sarah Michelle Gellar. Okay, everybody, that's basically my thoughts and a short reaction there. And I just want to give this episode a grade, and I'm going to give it maybe a B+. There were some interesting things, a little bit of action, the werewolf chasing down Connor. You had the weird hallucinations, the dream horse coming through the door on Luna. Had a lot of interesting things, which I'm enjoying the mental aspect of that and the hallucinations and those things. Again, a lot of good things going on. I think it was a little better than the first episode, and I rated it a B and a high B, and so I'm going to give this one a B+, and look forward to maybe them doing a little bit more. I think it's about time. We're a fourth of the way through the series now. I think we need to get a few reveals, and that's going to help things out as we start to see what's happening. And now that Garrett is home, hopefully we will. All right, everybody, I hope you've enjoyed the video, and please subscribe to the channel, like the video, and comment below, and I'll see you next time on the Fandom Realm.